Hi, this is Tanya, and I am at the Port of Baltimore and getting ready to do a ship inspection on the Carnival Pride. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to start to talk to people about what you do when you get on a cruise ship, because it is a little different than boarding a plane, and it's different than just jumping on a bus. So let's talk about the process today. Each port is different, so what you need to do first is talk to your travel advisor and find out what's going on at the port that you are going to. Luckily, I've been to most of the ports on the East Coast and can really speak to what's going to happen and what is different about each port. So let's talk about this one I'm at right now. Port of Baltimore. I'm going to be taking some photos and adding them to this video so you get an idea. I also have some photos of some other ones. But basically, you're going to find parking. Now, if it's a year-round port, like Baltimore, like Port Canaveral, or Miami, or Fort Lauderdale, or Cape Liberty, they all have permanent parking right there at the port. They'll have a permanent terminal. I mean, they have ways to process people because they're coming and going every day of the week. Now, for temporary ports like Norfolk that only gets 6 cruise ships a year, and that's one of the same boat, 6 times a year, you have to do off-site parking. So with Norfolk, there is a different process. You kind of drop off your bags, go to a parking garage, walk about 3 blocks, and then get onto your ship. But, you know, that is the exception to the rule. So most likely you're going to be cruising out of a port that has permanent parking. So the first thing you do is come in and park. Now, some ports will check ID and information before you can even get to the parking garage. So keep that in mind. Fort Lauderdale is one of those. The other thing you want to keep in mind is find out some options for parking. And I can do a different video about pre-cruising and some best options for getting to the cruise ship. So that'll be in a different one. But once you get parked, you can drop off your bags, okay? Now, sometimes you can walk them there and the porters will take them. Other people prefer to do like a little drive around, drop off their bags with the porter, and then park their car and then walk with their smaller luggage. Depends on you and the port and how much luggage you have. Remember to take tip for those porters. That is their job. That's how they work. They work off a tip. So take a couple dollars for each bag, give it to them. They will get it checked in for you. So at that point, all you have to worry about is you yourself and your bags that you are going to carry on, your carry-on luggage, which should be basically a computer, laptop, or some kind of shoulder bag. Some boats will let you go swimming before they take off. So just throw a bathing suit in there. Let's see. And consider you're not going to get into your room till 1 or 2 o'clock. So when you're boarding, how long is that? Usually I just grab lunch. Anyway, so once you have dropped off your main bags, then you're going through security. Now, it's not as bad as an airport. You can keep your shoes on, but everything else is going through a scanner as well as you to make sure, you know, to look for, I don't know, guns, whatever. They're going to go through and check your luggage, your carry-on bags, and you can go on up and check in. And then the check-in process is very similar to a hotel. They have their front desk people. You go in, you show your ID, you show your pre-boarding information. If you filled it out online, it only makes the process quicker. You show them your forms, your credit card that you want to have place your charges on, and your IDs and your passports. Please, please, please make sure that your passports, your IDs, and your main paperwork is not in the luggage you checked with your porter. Yes, that can be a big problem, especially if it's your passport. So make sure all of that information is in your carry-on bag. After that, you will walk through usually some walkways. You will start boarding the ship at different points, depending on what cruise line. You will either be scanned in with a picture taken in the terminal or as soon as you get on a ship. Each one is different. I know with Carnival, they usually take them on the ship. With Disney, they take them in the terminal. So again, you're getting your picture taken. You are getting a ID card. It'll be scanned on when you get on the ship, when you board, and every time you depart, even at when you get off for excursions or any reason you're getting off that ship, that card will be scanned. So they know who's on the ship and who's not. So hang on to the little card. That's basically it for getting it off on the ship. It's easier than a airline, I think, but not as easy as just jumping on a bus. So just keep that in mind. The other thing you want to make sure that you know the rules of the cruise line is what is allowed on that cruise line, okay? Some ships will let you bring alcohol on board, some will not. So again, make sure you talk to your travel advisor, know what you're allowed to bring, what you're not allowed to bring, and should be good to go. It's not that hard. Depending on how early you get there and how busy they are, it can take from 15 minutes to an hour. So plan accordingly. Personally, my favorite time to get on a ship is between 11 and 1. After 1, it starts getting really busy and crazy, and before 11, they're still getting the previous passengers off, so you're going to be doing some sitting. So between 11 and 1, to me, is a perfect time to get onto the ship, grab some lunch, then get into your room, and have a great cruise. Thanks. If you have any more questions or you need a travel advisor, please contact me. Bookcruisesandtravel.com. I'd love to help you.